Welcome to Surreal. An awful lot of thought process went into the Surreal logo. And our big strap line's "What do you see?" And it's there. That reminds us all the time about why we're here. And really it's aimed at, we all see things differently. We have Ray and Rooney who looks after our door, courtesy of our friends at night. I used to have a cup of tea written on there and I'd stand at the door and do it. But Lindsay's not there to make tea, I might add. Right. This is my office. These really sum up me as a person. I love this idea that actually no matter what we think about or what we worry about, others, me, you, them, actually no matter what we do, it's going to end in death. So what's the point in worrying about it and just get on with it? Huge music fans here in Surreal. So no matter where you go, you'll find that we've got music and it'll normally be playing something at some stage. This actually is one of my favourite little things. This was sent to me by a friend in China. It's called a Chinese chop. And he got that personally engraved for me. So if I send something out that's actually official, I'll get my little ink pad, give it one of those, give it one of those, and that means it's officially Surreal. But all the time in the corner of my office, this is actually, you heard me talking about the business plan. This is how I've decided to set this business up. That is my business plan. And people cannot believe that's a business plan, but I know exactly what that means. And if ever I'm feeling a little bit down or I'm unsure, this is what I look at, and then I get my focus on my vision. These are the weights, which I never use, but actually I like to think I do exercise when I come to work in the morning. And then back out here where everything gets done. Surreal is a new agency. When I say a new agency, it's a new way of thinking as an agency. And what we do is we believe we come at brands from a completely different angle. We initially set up as a design company, but we've realised that actually what we are is a branding agency. We look after people's brands, we develop them, and we see how they communicate with their clients. So we are a branding agency. As you will probably see as you go around the Surreal crib, it is a very free thinking environment we've got. In fact, I think that's the book I'm reading at the moment, Mavericks at Work. Right? Mavericks at Work, why the most original minds in business win. And what that actually says is that don't be scared to employ mavericks. And now I've employed a team of mavericks, been self-employed, some of them have got other things that they do, you know, all very much free thinking people. And I believe mavericks are the people to employ. Mavericks will push you forward. Jason, we've got Ben, we've got Pete, and it's difficult to see who's designers and who's not. We're all part of what I would call the creative process. And unfortunately for the cribs, we've got two designers off today. James is busy on his way across to Amsterdam, and we have got Anthony today, but he's not been very productive. I think he's down in Devon, to be perfectly honest. He's not very well at the moment. And that, actually, funny enough, that wasn't done for cribs, that was just done because we thought it was funny. We've got a big thing about rubber toys for some reason. We're big fans of Mr. Potato Head. Right? And for some reason, just turn the camera around. I think Ben's finding this very funny at the minute. What's wrong with rubber toys, Ben?
Is that what you want?
It's vinyl toys, I've just been told. This is what we call our eye totem. Anth, one of the designers, decided to make it, and you'll see remnants of Max around here, both old and new. But more importantly, on the front of it, you've got what we call the face of Surreal. That's every member of staff that works here. But it's amazing how when we put them together, there's no Photoshop work gone into that. It is literally, we've just comped it together. But it is really how I like to think the business reflects itself. Don't ask us why I've got a disco ball in the shape of a house. I just bought it once in an auction. I just thought it was nice. I've had a big issue with being a managing director. for a period of time, I used to see her, I'm learning to be a managing director. Well, actually, I was a managing director the moment I set up the business called Surreal Creative. What I see now is, I'm a managing director who learns something new every day. And I think that's the big difference. As long as you accept that being a managing director, you do have responsibilities. I think first and foremost, my responsibilities are to the employees here. Because if I don't run this business right, well, there's 7 people who are going to be unemployed. Everybody has an opinion, and because of that opinion, it just makes it really exciting. And free to choose is the ethos that buys. That is the vision of this business. And that is now, it's ingrained in the business now. And as I say, it can be like herding kittens. But I love it. Since Christmas, we went on a big sales drive. Got a client down in Liverpool, and we've been rebranding with these guys for about 4 years now. And we were producing a new brochure for them. And with everything they do, they've got to get it approved by their head office in Portugal. They're all sort of independent cost centres, so they've got offices in France and Germany and Spain, Portugal, South Africa, Canada, Liverpool. And what actually happened was, when the guy in Portugal looked at it, one, he liked the look of it, but then he said, you know, we've got different brands in each of these separate countries. Nobody's actually even identifying the fact that these were the same businesses. And he came forward and said, look, I think we need to get some sort of a unified brand across France, Germany and the UK, if nothing else, because the 3 businesses had 3 different names and 3 different product lines, even though it was the same product. And they decided to pitch it out. The French and the Germans said, look, could we have our agencies look at it? UK said, look, we'll have to let our agency look at it. And fortunately for us, they chose the brand that we went forward with. Not only the brand name, but the brand development. We don't know where it's going to end up with this, because but there's even been talk of changing the name of the organisation to this name, because I think it's so powerful. We don't know where it's going to end. The big thing is, for Surreal, this just moves us up another notch. To say that you were working on a brand that is not just European, but is potentially worldwide, just puts you in a different category where branding companies are. And like any good cribs, you've got to come and see the kitchen. This is where all the action's done. You can see how we look after the things. We've got milk. We've got a bottle of Cristal at the back there.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And that's obviously the fun for the tuck shop. So you can see this is actually what cribs is really about. Back outside. I'll show you the wheels and then we can go. This is what's driving Surreal at the moment. We've got everything from a 1970s Rally Banana. That's my Cannondale. Trusty old friend, been with me for about 16 years now. Every year it takes me at least 200 miles for charity. This is my fixie. Nice little Trek. Sleek and black, I suppose that would be the equivalent of the Navigator. And I think this is the newest boy, but if you notice, these guys are fixed wheel bikes. So you always have to pedal. And on that note, see you later.